Graves? RW?
Graves? That's you, Grunt!
Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 87, Robert Grunt Graves, or Robert E. Graves. This is one of the original 13, and I have been wanting to get a hold of this guy for a while. As you might know, I try my best to collect the original 13. The one I'm missing right now is Breaker, and that's just because that RAM cycle is not cheap at all. But looking at the packaging here, this is the older windowless packaging. We've gone back to the new windowed packaging. There has been like 4 different packaging styles that we've seen in the classified line in this year alone. It's kind of baffling and really annoying because I try to keep some of my boxes. I've kept all of the classified boxes I've gotten because I like the way they looked at my shelves. I like seeing the art and the numbering and everything, but now it's all screwed up. So I'm like, is there even a point to keep these? I might just chuck them out. So having it constantly change like this is very irritating, but I actually do quite like the way this looks. I like the asymmetry of it. I like to see the accessories here. Very nice artwork here. I wish I could see the full splash of it. There's Grunt right here, helicopter, G.I. Joe Classified Series. It's embossed, which is a nice touch. Hasbro, so on and so forth. This QR code that you can scan will just take you to the Hasbro website. All the various symbols and what they mean. There is Grunt here in the back. He's 6.3 inches tall. You can see all the little details, pouches, his cool little iPhone that he has on his chest, and a nice bigger shot of that artwork, which is really nice to see. But yeah, let's get him open. And there is your one Robert E. Graves out of the packaging, and he looks really good. This is a really nice modernization of Grunt. I've always liked Grunt, especially from when he was in the Worlds Apart two-parter from the original American Hero series, where, as you saw in the intro here, he encountered a skeletized version of himself on alternate Earth. He found his own dead body, and that's really wild that they let that slip in the cartoon in the 80s. I like it. It's a really good two-parter written by Martin Pasco. Martin Pasco was a comic book artist, and a writer, rather, who wrote many, many comics, including, like, Dr. Fate, Superman. I think he wrote some Swamp Thing, and he passed many years ago, unfortunately. But he was a very good writer, and it really showed, because that genuinely might be the best episode or episodes of the entire series. It stands out so well. So having this guy in a physical format is really nice now, seeing him. And he just looks really good. This is, like I said, a really nice modernization of Grunt. I could definitely see them eventually down the line doing a full retro carded version of Grunt, which get rid of the extra guns, get rid of the plate carrier, change the helmet to the one that Duke came with, get rid of the pouches and everything, and just put on the one that came with Stalker, like that full piece and that apparatus, and then you got a retro carded Stalker, like the same with Stalker as well. So if you're waiting for that, I have no doubt we'll get it. But yeah, he looks really solid, and I feel like they intended Grunt to be a bit of an army builder based on the helmet you can see sitting back there, and also in some of the artwork that or some of the photography that they showed on the website, which has a bunch of Grunts running around. That never sat right with me. Grunt is not just a generic soldier. Sure, that's his name, but that's because he's supposed to emulate the everyman, the every soldier. In the comics and everything, he lived a very interesting life. He had a unique life. He was actually one of the few, I think the only Joe, to retire peacefully and not like die in the line of combat or anything. So Grunt is a real character, and I appreciate the fact that they make it clear that it is, because he's got the name on his vest. But they also include the helmet, so I guess you could make as many Grunts as you want. But getting him off the spinny base here real quick. Well, here we have Grunt sans accessories, and he looks really solid. This is a really good interpretation of Grunt. Grunt always kind of had like a big block head, kind of like a kind of jock-looking thing. So they really nailed it here with his big square head, which you can see right here, the haircut that you could set your watch to, including like the fader on the side and everything. He is the soldier. He is the everyman soldier, and like you could probably, even if you wanted to, because it's the same body mold, pop the peg out of here and put it on the infantry soldier if you wanted to create like the tan Grunt figure, or even more of a modern soldier-ified Grunt. You could probably do that as well. But like I said, right here, it's got the E4, got this rank Graves, it's got the American flag, got the very cool flip-out phone, which I think is very fun. I think that is a thing. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is a thing that modern soldiers do have. They have a place on their plate carrier where they can flip out and look at the phone and everything, or their data pad, or whatever it's called, so that way they can get some quick readings, I suppose. And also, as well as that, they have something I really like. They included the Joe Pro, which I really appreciate. I like that. It means that they haven't, totally abandoned the concept yet. But I really like that. I know I've said in my videos before, I liked the modernization of the early wave of the Joes. I liked that gung-ho, that Duke, that Scarlet and everything. I know it wasn't for everybody, but I really did enjoy it. It felt kind of new and interesting, and it was something different as opposed to the same old things, which we have gotten years and years and years and years. So it was just something new, and I like that they haven't completely got rid of it yet. But there's really nice, body armor here. You can see places where you'd store extra, magazines. There's some extra magazine right there. One on the side there. There is a place for his knife to sheath in here. There's on the back here, just the standard placement of a little smaller individual things. It's all very nicely textured, very nice brown. A little bit of silver on here. There's a space right here. Right here, if we take the magazine that comes from his rifle, you can actually slide it in the back here, but it is a hard fit, and honestly, it doesn't sit super well because it kind of bends the plastic a bit. But it's there, and it's nice that they included that. If there were multiple magazines, as opposed to just the one that it came with, I probably would use that. I'd probably put another one back in there, but I don't know. And an interesting placement for his pistol is the fact that it's on the back. I personally have not seen that before. If you do know, like, what benefit that would be, I guess it's more like a cavalry draw, where you grab it from the side. But it's just odd placement for me. It reminds me a little bit of Wild Bill. Again, this is the Stalker body, so, you get the same, placement of pouches for basically everything. This is pretty much the exact same figure that Stalker is, except different head sculpt and different accessories on top. But it's still a good mold. It's a good usage of this mold. And something interesting here, these hands are a lot softer. If you watched my last video on the Infantry Soldier, same hand mold, but these ones are a lot softer for some reason, and I don't know why. So they hold the guns better. But just odd that the plastic, I guess, is slightly different. There's some nice pouches here on the sides. They stick out a little bit more than I would like personally. They kind of jut out and get in the way a little bit, but that's just me. I do like them though. They fit very well with the color scheme. It actually breaks up the color quite a lot. And some very nice brown boots he's got as well. So this is a good looking figure. I mean, it's very solid. I mean, standard articulation you'd get as well. Has a ball joint. Head pops off pretty easily, so you can put that on there. There's a ball joint at the neck here as well. Ab crunch, which gets in the way a little bit because of the armor, but not too bad. Also, there's the ball joint at the waist here, so you get a lot more motion. Butterfly joints, which I don't really like that much because they don't really do a whole lot. They just kind of bend backwards a little bit, which is nice, I guess. You get a little bit of range of motion. 360 at the shoulder, 360 at the bicep. If I twist it here, double jointed pinless elbows. The right hand goes side to side, and the left hand goes up and down. So I guess Grunt is a lefty. Good to know. Drop down hips, as there often always are. There's a swivel here at the upper thigh. Double jointed, very tight pinless knees. Don't strain them too hard, you might break it. There's a swivel here at the calf, and up and down. Four-facing pin for rocker for the foot. So you get a lot of motion there. You get a lot of the standard articulation that you get for a glass-eyed figure. So it's a good figure, Not bad, Grunt. And here are all the accessories that come with Grunt, starting off here with the different helmets. You have the very standard, original, normal-looking, soldier helmet that you have. The placement there for anything you put something on there, but you really can't because it's not that deep, so you can't fit anything in there. But it's a nice green. There's a nice brown strap. The issue I have with these, though, is that when you sit them on a head, it doesn't really sit in that well, and they kind of bob up and down. I don't know if there's a way you can fix maybe a little bit of glue on there, a little tack or something in there just to keep it in place. But it's hard to just keep them, in place and have it look good. And then he has the alternate helmet, which this is, I'm pretty sure, just a steel core, like Steel Brigade helmet in green. It's a good color, works good, it looks nice. It is not a helmet, it is a full head piece. So you have to pop the head off and put that on. It's nice looking, like it looks good, but I don't see me using this with Grunt. Same thing for the one that came with Clutch, like the kind of shark looking one. Like, I don't see myself using that, but if you do, good for you. I hope you get some enjoyment out of it. It's a nice looking sculpt, and the Steel Brigade is very cool in my eyes. Here is his backpack, which is very reminiscent of his original backpack with two little pegs inside here, so you can fit either of his weapons on there at the same time. Nice looking texture, nice green. You can see all the individual leather embossing and everything on there. Little peg here in the back. It works very well. It's a nice looking backpack. And here is his first rifle, which is a M16 of some sort. As you can tell, it's not the most perfectly aligned. It's a bit warped. But I've come to expect that with classified figures, and it bums me out that I have, because, like, I want to do more with these. I want to have these in different poses. It's a very good sculpt. Like, it's an impressively well-done sculpt. However, it is just so soft. Like, I can just bend it so easily, and I feel like I'm going to snap it in half, and I hate that. I wish that I could do more with this and feel like I could do more with this, because it is a good sculpt. I wish they would just pick better plastic quality, I suppose. Same issue here on the laser rifle. As you can see here, it is a bit warped here. It's a bit of an angle here. It was worse when I got it. It was like that. And I actually had to straighten it out. I still have to. I don't want to bend it too hard because I don't want to warp the plastic or anything. But it just, it sticks in that one position. And it's a good sculpt. It's the exact same one that came with Scarlet and the exact same one that came with Duke. But this time it's in a black and green. And I actually like this color scheme, I think, the most. I think this looks the best. It looks really nice. Again, classic G.I. Joe laser rifle. I would love just a box of these because I want to give one to everybody. Everyone had these. No one didn't have these. I think the person didn't have them, like Scarlet, because she had the crossbow. But like, I want everyone to have these. These are classic. He has right here what looks like, if you ask me, a 1911, which would not be surprising for Grunt, as he is the everyman infantry soldier. Would not be shocked if he had specifically a 1911. There, of course, here's a peg here so you can fit blast back pieces if you have any. I do not. There is the magazine, which I showed off, that goes into the M16. Very nice, standard, long peg, fits in there nice and normally. And he also has this knife, which attaches to his chest. It's a very, very nice looking knife. Thick blade, very thick blade. This looks like it would hurt a lot if it wasn't so dull. But yeah, those are the accessories that come with Grunt. And for size comparison, we have Grunt here next to the infantry soldier. I guess you could call the other, more modern Grunt. They look really nice together. Blends in very well. I mean, obviously, infantry soldier is a lot more tan, if that's kind of color designed for. But again, I could see you swapping these pieces in and out, do whatever you want with them, and it could probably look really good. Here's Grunt standing next to his commanding officer, Duke, and they look really good together. Blends in very well. This Grunt is a lot more modern, like I said, but you can fit him in there. You can fit him in a classic display, I think, pretty well, at least until they make the retro one. They haven't said they are, but if they didn't, that would just be a waste of money printing. And here he is next to his good buddy, Clutch, and now all we're missing is a Steeler, so we can finish that trio of Joes that were trapped on another alternate parallel Earth, which I hope we get a Steeler. I mean, I know he's the Mobat driver. That would be really cool to see a HasLab Mobat. I won't lie, that would be really cool to see. I doubt it, like this year, because I'm pretty sure my money's on the Rattler, but I would not be shocked if maybe next year was the Mobat. Fingers crossed. And there is Grunt. I love this guy. This is a really good Joe. Again, I'm just really happy to have more classic original 13 figures in my collection. This is a very good one. I actually like this one a lot more than I like some of the other ones, but I think I'm just a sucker for the generic everyman soldier. So yeah, it's a really good figure. I mean, you can probably pick one up pretty easily. They're still in stock. If you liked this video, please like it, please comment, please subscribe. Everything you need to do in order for me to keep doing those videos that I love to make. I am currently 1 subscriber away from 500 as I'm filming this right now, which is crazy to think about. The fact that is what's going on for me right now. Like a month ago, I was at 300 or something. I just jumped real high. So thank you, all of you, sincerely, so very much. It means the world to me that I can keep doing these, keep making these videos, because I love to do it. I love doing these. I love these toys, and I love talking about G.I. Joe. So thank you so very much. Join the Discord server if you want. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. We talk about G.I. Joe all the time. So I will see you when I see you next. Yo, Joe.